Voting has begun in Finland General Elections that could see a change of both Prime Minister and the ruling coalition government. Up for grabs are 200 seats in the Finnish parliament. The one fighting to stay in power is Sanna Marin, the 37-year-old who became the youngest to head a government in 2019. She's the leader of Social Democratic Party and is considered a rising star for the centre-left across Europe. Heading the nation through a pandemic, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, as well as Finland's accession to NATO, Marin is considered popular. But she has also faced criticism by the opposition for her coalition's debt-fueled spending. She was also in news globally for her parting at a time when Europe's energy crisis hit Finland hard.
Of course, we hope that Social Democrats will win these elections. It's so important because we want to stay open society that also wants to work together internationally. We want to build better, greener, sustainable future where every people have the same opportunities in life. So of course we hope that we will win.
Reports say that Finns are now focused on matters such as inflation, rising public debt, rising cost of living due to the pandemic and war in Ukraine. And this is where the incumbent Prime Minister faces the risk of losing power. The elections are heavily contested between three parties: centre-left ruling Social Democratic Party, right-wing the Finns Party, and centre-conservative National Coalition Party. Centre-left ruling Social Democratic Party is led by Sanna Marin. Observers feel Marin's popularity might not translate into her victory in the upcoming polls. Right-wing, the Finns Party, is led by Riikka Purra, and she has been campaigning on the issue of migration into Finland. She has raised the issue of growing juvenile delinquency and street crime in Finland. While the centre-conservative National Coalition Party, led by Petteri Orpo, says he wants to fix the economy and boost the economic growth of the country. Recent polls have put centre-right coalition headed by Petteri Orpo at the top place, although Orpo's National Coalition has a thin lead at 19.8%. The nationalist Finns Party, led by Riikka Purra, polled 19.5%. The Social Democrats, led by current Prime Minister Sanna Marin, took third place at 18.7%.
The most important thing in next government is to fix our economy, boost economic growth, balance public economy. And the second very important issue is to build up NATO Finland.
Of course, there are many legislative amendments and reforms that we want to pursue. For instance, to migration policy, climate and energy policy, criminal policy, and we also want to tighten our attitude towards the European Union. So we need to be stricter.
Let's talk more about this, and we are now being joined by Antti Ronkainen, who is a researcher of political science at the University of Helsinki. Antti, welcome to WION World is One.
Thank you.
What is at stake in these elections?
Practically, these have been the Prime Minister elections, and as you told, the three biggest parties are practically neck on neck, and it is based on this electoral result, who will be the biggest party after the vote count. He or she has ability to start to form a new coalition. And the stake is that if the True Finns or National Centre-Right Party Kokoomus, if both of them are biggest, there is a high possibility that there will be this kind of conservative right-wing coalition led either by Riikka Purra or Petteri Orpo, or if the Social Democrats are the biggest one, then there is a possible of government coalition between Social Democrats and centre-right. So I think that these are the basic options for the next coalition of Finland.
Antti, let's talk about the current Prime Minister, and Sanna Marin is trailing in opinion polls. Will she be able to turn the tide with these polls? And why are the Finns turning their support towards the right wing?
The biggest issue in these elections have been the public debt, and the opposition parties, True Finns and centre-right, have accused the sitting Prime Minister Sanna Marin and her coalition about taking too much debt. I think that this has been dominated all the discussions, and Finnish people are, how you say, fiscally conservative when it comes to questions of public money management. But at the same time, it is not so common that sitting prime minister is so popular in Finland, that the current polling of the Social Democrats is much more bigger than it was in the last elections when the Social Democrats won the general election. So I think that everything is possible because they are so neck and neck in current polls.
Finally, what would be the make or break moment for these elections in Finland?
What do you mean make or break point?
What will be the decider of these elections? If people vote for Petteri Orpo, for instance, what does that mean for him and his party?
I think that if there is a right-wing coalition, then they get the mandate to run fiscal adjustment program of the public administration, but they would have problems to formulate coherent policies regarding the European Union or climate policies. But at the same time, if there is a coalition between Social Democrats and centre-right, the issues of public debt and fiscal adjustment would be very hard to formulate, but at the same time, the climate policies and EU would be easier issues for this kind of coalition.
All right, I've been talking to researcher of political science at the University of Helsinki, Antti Ronkainen. Thank you for talking to WION today.
Yeah, thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.